Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the South Node in Sagittarius in the natal horoscope. As most of you know, the South Node is connected with overdeveloped qualities, something that we may have accentuated or emphasized strongly in the first part of our lives, generally up till about age 30. I look at this as kind of the redundancy point of a horoscope, and it's something that becomes monotonous to people often after a certain period of time, and these people often at that point in time feel compelled to go to their North Node, while not necessarily eradicating the South Node completely, but rather integrating it maybe a little bit with the North Node characteristics. So anyway, people, South Node in Sagittarius. The main thing that comes to mind with this placement is that this person sees themselves as kind of the philosopher, the mentor, the person that likes to indoctrinate, instill beliefs into others. But there comes a point in time where this person might feel, okay, well, I've done a lot of philosophizing, I have certain viewpoints, but maybe it's time to diversify and go out and maybe learn a little bit more about maybe other viewpoints from other people, other perspectives on things. That the thing that the challenge is with this placement is that this person has to remember that as far as their thinking and viewpoints, that they are not infallible. I don't think there's really anybody that has all their philosophies are going to be 100% accurate, or at least in agreement with everybody else. This position calls for the person to be more adaptable, to diversify, and perhaps going out and far as communicating with more people, and showing the Gemini loquaciousness with others in learning from other people and their own viewpoints. And this person will find that they can incorporate the Sagittarius expansiveness and optimism and that expansive energy into learning from other people. And a thing about this as well is that the South Node can often emphasize some traits where it comes out as negative as far as the South Node. And Sagittarius is a sign that's obviously very forthright. It can be very blunt and outspoken. Now, Sagittarians are truth seekers, but when they speak their truth, or what ordinarily would be the truth, they can put it in a way where it's not always very diplomatic or tactful, and also the need is to kind of get away from that. And Gemini is the type that it's not necessarily going to prevaricate or lie to her in order to spare someone's feelings, but they'll put things more likely on average in a little more of a constructive terms. And for example, something doesn't need to be always said that it's abysmal or it's horrible. Gemini might say, well, it just needs some modification, or it needs improvement, for example. So this is something where perhaps the calling for this person might be a field connected with communications. This could be broadcasting, data communications. Could be something perhaps along the lines with computers. It could be some kind of networking. It could be writing, being somebody that even is like a mail carrier or courier, someone that goes around in their local community and traverses their own area, and being able to talk to others and establish other viewpoints in the process. So this would be something where perhaps the calling would be in order diverting from the Sagittarius South Node and emphasizing the Gemini North Node. And this is something that could really work out, I would say, well for the person. And it's not Gemini compared to Sagittarius. Gemini learn a little bit more superficially though, as opposed to Sagittarius as far as learning things very deeply and profoundly. But at the same time, not everything has to always be learned 100%. The person can still accumulate a good amount of knowledge by being diversified on many different subjects, but not necessarily knowing everything 100%, and in being able to perhaps listen to basically the other person's view. This could be a person that might not necessarily be arrogant, but may come across as that, thinking that they have the answers for everything, where they may have answers for a lot of things, but not necessarily every single thing. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the South Node in Sagittarius in a natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the South Node in Capricorn in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.